Okay. Back. Jo, ich habe jetzt auch alles wieder auf HD gestellt. Ja, ich hatte alles auf 4K gestellt und ich glaube, das war einfach zu viel. Ich weiß auch nicht, ich habe ja letztes Mal so eine komische Low Latency ab und zu gehabt. Ich werde sicher nicht tanzen, aber wie sieht's aus mit der Musik? Ist es laut genug? Yo, Kuja, how's it going? Kuya, sorry. What is this? An empty page? We just restarted the stream, so don't be disappointed, please. Stream basically wasn't ready. Yeah. Famous Kevin. Let's move Kevin here. Ich benutze ein Headset. Klingt das immer noch so blechig? Ich hatte heute was anderes probiert, aber irgendwie, ich habe keine Ahnung, was mit dem Headset los ist. Es klingt seit einer Weile so blechig. Hey Juan, how's it going? Yeah, I try to stream every Friday now, around this time. Okay, let me check on my phone if the stream is properly running. 10% weniger? Okay. 10% would be this. How's that? Went through my first week of intensive German classes. Brain was right, man, I know what you mean. When I have my Korean class, it's also fry my brain. Every time. Ich danke dir, Faruk. Vielen Dank für die Hilfe. Okay, let's get some drawing done. Wow, that was a hassle. I actually checked the whole setup before, twice. So I just have to press the freaking button to basically turn on Streamlabs again, press go live, and everything goes smooth. But no, I open up Streamlabs, camera's not working anymore. I have to restart my computer, my mouse is not working. Then we start a stream. Hey Impro, welcome to stream, how's it going? Then we start a stream, and then everything is laggy. Oh man. Okay, but now I hopefully can focus on drawing. So how is everyone doing? How was the week? Did you have a good week, everyone? For me, it was pretty busy as usual. I liked that the sun was out today. Actually moved my old body outside, which was good. Okay. But from a drawing side, the week wasn't good for me. Like I really, you know, like whenever you have this that you just don't feel it. That was this week for me. I just don't feel it this week. I don't feel like surprising, or not surprising, like I don't feel like very inspired or motivated or whatever you call it. I just don't feel it. But I made sure that I do my 30 minutes at least every day, because yeah, that's the only way that this works. Oh. Okay, let's do some drawing. Rough week. Yeah. Yeah, Sketchbook is really helpful then, you know, like I mean just doodling also stuff. The problem is we have the tendency to kind of like give everything a quality stamp, which is obviously also because it's important for us, but yeah, if you have a bad week then it's not very helpful. Can I zoom in more? Okay. So actually I also need to admit I didn't thought about what we're going to draw today, so that's how unprepared I am today. But let's just jump into some drawings. I'm using a Staedtler pigment liner 0.05. This one here because I always get asked. Okay, so here we go. Son Goku? What do you mean Son Goku? I actually started yesterday to rewatch Invincible, or actually just continue the second season, because when I started it didn't really caught me. By the way, is Boris still here? Boris, I finished Freerun yesterday. It was really good. Appreciate your suggestion on finishing it. I was really surprised about how much it caught me then. Hey Jack, how's it going? Hey, Freedom was, like, storytelling wise, amazing. Character arc building, really nice. And yeah, hey, heads up, might only be, but I can barely hear your voice. Okay. Can you like have you put up the voice, like the volume of the stream? in itself. Test, microphone check. Because if I make it too loud, it could be that it's overpowering the voice. Because this microphone is just crap. Apologies for it. Also, I'm pretty sure, did any one of you watch some of the One Piece episodes which got really a big hype, where Ruffy was fighting against Kaido, where they had this really strong cinematic vibe? Yes, I have a pretty loud max on YouTube, 50% on my PC, which is normally super loud. No worries, thought I just wanted to know. Appreciate it, Jack. Hey Merlin, how's it going? I mean, I can push it up a bit louder if that's better for you. I just don't want to overpower it. Okay, because I like, if I'm kind of like getting too excited and too loud, then it sounds like I'm talking through like a can. Yeah, back to the One Piece thing. So there were these episodes which got really a lot of hype when Ruffy fought against Kaido and Big Mom for the first time. It got super cinematic, and they made those jump cuts where they kind of like overlay the same composition with each other, and then they make kind of like a video transition for story, for the sake of storytelling. And first I was like, wow, this is so innovative, it's so cool, and it's really cool to see, and it is. But now watching Freerun, which came much earlier than this episode, I was like, damn it, they just stole it from there. Or they got inspired by it, I don't know. But yeah. Not that I'm complaining, still amazing episodes. So the music that you hear is not the music that I usually hear, it's just free license music. So that this stream is not that silent when I don't talk. It's me. Looking, trying to get a stream up. Making the same face. Ba, 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 ba. I think generally changed quite a lot. Wano Kuni arc in One Piece, yes, but I also do love that. I mean, the change was really good, and I also wouldn't say like it were bad episodes or whatever. It's just like I was like, wow, that's so innovative, you know? I was so surprised. And then seeing this type of like transition in Frieren, like I don't know, 8 or 9 times, especially at the end of the episodes. It's kind of like this every time you have kind of like this how you call it in English, um, like this setback view of what happened before into the current state, and then they just overlap the composition and they do like this transition also completely mood and color wise, something like red to blue or something. I mean, it's so smart and it looks so nice. But yeah, what anatomy book can you recommend? Hmm. I mean, anatomy is always like, I get this question very often. It's super, super hard if you ask me um, to say something like, buy this book and it will help you, because I think the best way to learn anatomy is really by drawing it a lot, like really a lot. Um, and I'm still not good at it. I would not consider myself at saying like I'm really good at this. So yeah, the Stonehouse book is pretty good, especially how the guy explains everything. It's almost like a bio biology book. Yeah. So and then like I basically bought an atlas on anatomy. So actually a book that doctors use to learn anatomy for surgery and stuff. That's something that I can recommend. It's much more practical. I would stay away from these typical how to draw anatomy, how to draw manga faces, how to draw that, because it's a schematic way of drawing. But I think it's important that you kind of like learn your own way of drawing anatomy. It's much more interesting. Um, I do understand that basics are important, and you need to practice the basics. But again, um, you can have all the theoretical knowledge in the world if you cannot bring it practically on paper. It doesn't bring you anything. You know, you can buy the most like pricey course that you can find, and it can be made so well. It can still, like, if you don't practically draw through everything and try to bring it on paper, you won't be able to learn biggie from it. So yeah. I remember years ago I bought the Proco course on anatomy. It was an amazing course. I really like it, but I think still it's same opinion. Like, it's much better to just draw a lot, and here and there, kind of like, okay, if I don't understand how, I don't know, an arm and forearm and upper arms connecting, you know, but yeah. Well, those how to draw manga girls books are very limiting. Yeah, that's true. Hey Rose T, welcome to stream. How's it going? How do you listen to music while you draw for inspiration? Sorry, not how. Do you listen to music? I do. I do. Absolutely. I like to bring myself into the mood. Like whenever I draw anything, like yeah, with for a client job or a theme, or if it's kind of like dark sci-fi or a fantasy, I can listen uh, to Skyrim music like infinity. So just, you know, like those Skyrim thingies with ambient sound. It's just, yeah. I do agree with Jack on constructive anatomy, but I think what's even better, if you take all the books you can find and you make yourself a sheet of what works for you, because this what was his name, Michael Hampton guy, um, like, I know that a lot of people like Michael Hampton, and I also like his book, and I like how he explained things. But what you need to realize, the way um, the the way that Michael Hampton um, knows and draws anatomy works for Michael Hampton, and he's explained it in his way. So just because he's kind of like selling it as a book doesn't imply necessarily that you will learn 100% from it. But it makes more sense if you kind of like take whatever visually works for you in order to understand, you know? So for example, my students, when we come to the anatomy point, they always have to make a cheat sheet, which is basically taking out of all the books they can find every single part, and it has maybe Michael Hampton, it has maybe Bridgman, maybe even Hogarth, like whoever you find, put it in to whatever helps you to learn, because that's what I meant before. Human beings are so different in the way they learn anatomy, and they understand something. You know that there's just this concept of people who are fast switch neurons and slow switch neurons. So some people process information much faster and actually can access it much faster. Some people are super slow with it, you know. And I'm personally, for example, I know I'm much slower in like processing information. When I used to smoke, I listened to Skyrim. Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. 100%. I mean, I don't smoke, but I 100% get what you mean. For me it's kind of like, you know, when I sleep too much, and I get up and I'm so not a morning person, so like I don't want anyone to talk to me, and I get my first coffee and the coffee didn't kick in yet, so I'm still kind of sleepy, and then Skyrim music, and then it's kind of like you hear like this ambient rain, a little bit of the music in the background. That's my jam. And I feel like it's so important that you draw a lot, because it the you have to realize the more you draw, the more your stylistic choices and the things that you like can crystallize out more. And I think also when you draw things, you process again the theoretical informations that we spoke about earlier. You process them in that moment, and this kind of like processing is super important for your growth. So that's why like just drawing a lot, or at least having kind of like a continuation of that, is really important. I'm surprised about the music. It's kind of okay actually. A few days ago, I was in a gym and I trained back and forearms, and somehow I don't know what I did. Like my forearms got so sore I couldn't draw for 2 days. Probably it felt like I have like stiff hands. This music makes me sleepy. It's better. Forums? Why? What's the problem about trying forums? I also heard good feedback of the Tom Fox Anatomy book, because I have to buy some books, figure out for myself. Yes, I mean at the end you have to buy them and try them out. I think Tom Fox is good for simplification, but I think it's not really. It's good for simplifying anatomy, and maybe it's good for learning how you could simplify anatomy for yourself. But it's not a book about accuracy, I would say, if you're searching for this. I also use the worked out my forearms too hard for when I can draw. Is that an is that a joke? I don't. It's like the work out my forearms. Okay. I got you. Just making fun of me. It's okay. It's good. That's what I'm here for. I really worked out my forearms. Okay. You're welcome, Merland. You're welcome. Always. If you have more questions, that's why we're streaming. Not in a weird way, yeah, of course. I mean, it's a workout, right? I have the Tom Fox book. It's definitely not about accuracy. It helps to make remembering complicated parts of the anatomy easier and starting very simple and slowly complicating shapes. Well, then I probably had a really good definition for it. I believe you know judgment. Yeah, of course. I mean, why would you judge something natural like this, right? It's healthy. I love it how the stream is 30 minutes in and it's already went into the wrong. It went already in the right section of. We're not even on Twitch, but you know what I mean, I guess. Pool stream type of content. super shaky. Super shaky. Hey Zix, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Personally, I think all artists should train shoulders for longevity. Yeah, of course. I think like especially if you sit a lot, you need to train a lot of body parts. Ever do any sketching with brush pens, kind of like Kim Young Ji? I did like a big piece of samurais on A2 size. It's in this black. Do you see this this one here? This map? It's in there. It's kind of like this big, I would say. You want to see it? You want me to get up and get it? Maybe it's better if I just show it. Well, it seems to be the perfect book for me. Hot tub drawing stream. Surprised it isn't an actual thing on Twitch. It is because they kind of like draw the subscribers on their naked body. How did you learn to draw clothing? All I've been drawing in bodies, and I'm trash clothing. Any advice? Hey Ibrahim, welcome to the stream. Unless I can see it online somewhere. You can see it technically in the shop. If you go on my website, it's on the stream there, or it's probably also in the description below. You go on my website, go in the shop on and look on the print. It's a print called Battle Within, and I sell it as a print there. But it's kind of like I show you original. It's probably much quicker. I thought you sold the original piece. No, because if you know Dongho Kim, he gave me an advice and told me to never sell. He just sent me a message and told me never sell originals. Wink. I'm like, all right, you're the boss. I'm not selling it. So let me see how big this is. Yeah, I thought of selling it, but I don't know. I don't know if like if I can really kind of like if I'm happy about. I think I have to wait 1 sec to zoom out. I don't know. Can you see it? This is basically all with brush pen. Brush pen, no underdrawing, no pencil drawing. Right with brush pen, and I would say I died a few deaths. I was basically sweating blood and tears while doing this because every stroke could mean a fuck up in a way, but at some point I was basically just like, okay, you know what, let me just finish it, and then I just finished it. And it took me actually quite a while because in the beginning I was super slow with the brush pen because you kind of like have to pre-think and all that, and then yeah, I don't know, it took like, I don't know, I think it took like in total like 2 weeks where I worked like 2 to 3 hours per day on it. Yeah, but yeah, it was just a starting point, you know, like just trying to get, and I learned a lot because I learned that I probably will never do a brush pen drawing again. I would rather just use a brush because the brush pen is really heavy. So, yo, Mr. Glitch, how's it going? Yeah, because the brush pen again is really heavy. So for really long drawings, I mean, they use brush pen because it's fast and you can kind of like get a lot of stuff out, and you don't have to like, hey Dan Kruger, how's it going? Welcome back. You don't have to dip it, you know, into the ink. So that's good. But yeah, the the problem for me was the hand, like it felt like super heavy in hand. Yeah, that's a good description. 2 weeks for Immortal, 1 hour for Kim Young-ji. That is pretty accurate if you ask me. Let me switch up the music a bit here. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, controlling the brush pen is extremely hard. Extremely hard. 100%. And I still, like, whenever I get back to it, like, especially if you heavy-hand it, it's a nightmare, really. But yeah, it was a good learning, and it looks actually pretty cool on a t-shirt and on a hoodie. Unfortunately, I can't show it because they're on their way to me. The new versions. It looks pretty sick. Bro, didn't you say you fixed your mic? Man, don't ask me. Don't ask me. Really. If you really want an argument today, then don't ask for it. I it just like the whole thing just make me mad. Maybe, you know what? I think you should come to my place and do the setup for me. I think you're the right person for this. Because I tried it, I thought it worked. Everything broke. I had to restart the stream. Nothing worked at all. I was laggy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too stupid for doing that. I'm back to it. Yes, I try to use the Rode, like the stick-on microphone. I try to use it, but it was super quiet. You couldn't hear me. So I don't know. The quality was better, obviously, but you couldn't hear me. So I have no clue, you know. Been drawing pen and paper lately. Monster Hunter Wilds took over my life. Oh no! Resist Monster Hunter. Peter Hahn is really good with dynamic sketching. No worries, Jack. All good. By the way, Anush, the comic practice page as shown on Discord has a lot of elements ideas produced from the summer camp last year with you. Haha. Yeah, I was thinking about it, that you might did that. Looked pretty wild. And I'm happy that you are producing. You're doing stuff because it's important, really important to continue to practice. Bro has some really wild hair. Okay, I can try, but I don't know if I'm proficient in you. Bro, I would not even call myself close to be proficient. I really flinched and yeah, thought that I might be, I don't know, not as like knowledgeable when it comes to like tech as I am. Cause like, I don't know, I tested it yesterday and it worked. Hey Leonardo, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the stream. But yeah. And also like I have a few other microphones here, but I have to figure out a solution where I can kind of like go down and up and it's kind of like the same type of like loudness, you know. That's why I thought I would be smart with the headset, but again, I'm not smart. Stupid dude. Just not smart enough. This music, wow, what's going on? Just hearing mi amore. Move your body to the rhythm. Wah 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 wah. How about Dreamy? Oh, Dreamy's good. Hey Matt, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Sorry, didn't someone ask about drawing clothing? I completely forgot about that. Sorry. I think someone asked about drawing clothing and I completely forgot about it. Ah, here. Hey Ibrahim, are you still there? Sorry.
with wasn't cool kids, so I guess this is my get back. Broken soul, breaking soul, sorry I admit that. I'm saying, look, please don't judge me. I'm trying to see the beauty in the ugly. Ay, then shit got fuzzy. Ay, trying to find out who really love me. Ay, look, do you love me? Ay, do you love me? Look, do you love me? Do you love me? They say the hardest battles teach you some amazing shit. I guess I'm wise behind my years. Got new hardware, we've been grinding with the gear. Ayy, working on this shit for 10 years, but never do I quit. I don't harbor what I fear. Levels to this game, feel I'm leveling my tier, but no medals in this sport, it's just mental warfare. I care less about some shit I would've gave the world for, cause once I got it, didn't have you there to share. They say I'm lucky, luck favors the prepared, and I always felt ready, just a little unaware. I never been defeated, just a little beaten. Bloodsuckers try to stop me, but I'm still beating. I was young and only thrill seeking. At 28, I found a deeper meaning. I got a whole bunch of plans, I know the reaper fiending. I hope I get to live them out before these vipers get me RP, River Phoenix. Some people change and I'm not surprised. Guess I've been too used to getting traumatized. I will not apologize. Rest in peace, Steez, almost contemplated suicide. Lucky I'm here, didn't think I'd make it past 25. But so it goes, I found another side. My day-to-day was never publicized. I went to war inside my head and kept a subtle vibe. Didn't want to trouble my...
Yeah, so, sorry Ibrahim. So, how did you learn to draw clothing was the question, right? There are multiple things you can do. So what you can do, you can take photos and you can try to trace the folds over the photo. So if you have any digital device, Photoshop, Krita, whatever it is, put a photo in, make another layer, fill it with white, lower the opacity, 50%, 30%, draw the folds and the clothing, just trace the clothing. And that is like the more faster way to do it, and do that really a lot, like 10, 20. It's just about pattern recognition. It's just to get in those patterns. The other way is trying to start with wider clothing. So draw people in oversized stuff. Because the tight-fitting stuff is really hard because it's closer to the anatomy, and you have to be more careful with folds and how everything is kind of like on the anatomy. Yeah, and then just think about the kind of like the patterns, and then also the points where everything gets pulled by gravity. That's what I would suggest. What happened? What do you mean? What happened to what? Don't know what you're talking about. stop drawing. Are you using reference for say drawings? Say drawings? Say drawings? Yes, I'm using references. I do. I mean, sometimes I use kind of like directly reference I can show. And sometimes I'm kind of like just using like, you know, like just looking at things that I make sure that I fit the angle correctly, you know. And I'm just making sure that whenever I draw like a face or whatever, that I don't mess up back plane or whatever, you know. It's just better for, yeah, just better for learning. Because if I kind of like start to draw from imagination, sometimes at some point I think it looks correct, but I'm actually completely off. Especially when I do it for a long time. So that's why I also that's also why I say, for example, get an anatomy cheat sheet whenever you learn anatomy. It is not to look at the anatomy cheat sheet the whole time, but whenever you draw, for example, an arm and you feel like, okay, the arm looks off, or the hand looks off, or kind of like, I don't know, maybe like the wrist looks weird, right? Then you go back to your sheet, you look at the sheet to understand what's actually happening and what are you missing. You basically take a gap, you know, and then you fill it with the information. When drawing from imagination, I feel like getting the proportions right, it's always tricky. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think also we as a art community, and I'm talking about the whole community, we hyped up the whole like drawing from imagination a little bit too much, you know. It is super important, especially for the aspect of using your imagination, but I think it's also the same important that we don't forget that every amazing artist, every great artist, and also community, everyone use reference on a normal base, because we can't remember everything, right? And especially you, if you're in the beginning, I think it's a bit of a false misconception that you need to draw all the time. When I have people joining in my program and they are in the beginning, I also encourage them. First, we build a creative routine, but at some point I encourage them to draw from imagination from time to time, and Juan and Boris and everyone else here knows what I'm talking about. But it's important, and it's a big but, to always go back to the reference at the same time. Because if you draw too much from imagination, thinking you're right, you can also build wrong patterns. And that is very dangerous, you know? If you, for example, you draw in hand, a face, some sort of thing the whole time, always, but it's actually wrong. What you do is you start to get bad habits in, and that's not what we want, right? Like, it's important that we get in the good habits. So that's why it is really just to remind yourself of, okay, how's the back plane, how's the eye looks on the other side, what's happening if the head is tilted, you know, like just little things. And the more and more you can take also the reference away, but you can also manipulate the reference. There are no limitations. I mean, it's art, right? Like there are no, like people tend to say there are no rules in art. Think about this. Imagine you would be kind of like a mangaka and you have to deliver like a full chapter every week. So you're stressed the whole time, right? You're pure stress. You almost piss blood, you know? What would you do? Would you think that you would just try to nail everything out of your imagination? Absolutely not. You just try to finish the job, and that's what all professionals are doing. Because we use references in order to make things grounded. And also to ensure that we don't miss anything, right? References are our friend, they're not the enemy. So again, I feel like the whole like, we hyped this whole like, I don't use reference thing. Like it doesn't say anything about the skill if you use it or not. I mean, of course, yes, it says something to a certain point where you can do it, but to be honest, I haven't seen anyone the same level of Kim Young-ji drawing from imagination. So I think there's no one really kind of like saying that. And also, hey BM Mania, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate you and your existence. Yeah, he studied reference so hard. That's completely right. He studied them so, and if you look at his old streams where he was doing the comic book pages for his comic Spy Games, he was actively using references while making those frames. So, if the great master is doing it, why shouldn't you do it? You know? Makes no freaking sense to argue there. I think if you kind of like craft out an idea from your head, you know, like the core essence of it, it should come from you, you know? But also sometimes people get so precious about their ideas, but they don't realize they've been like how you say there were impulses all their life by entertainment and media, and they all consumed stuff their whole life, and it all has an effect on the things they do idea wise. And when someone comes up with, I don't know, the spider tank, of course everyone thinks like, okay, that's kind of like the Ghost in the Shell spider tank. But yeah, of course, maybe the person thought about it. Maybe the person does a giraffe tank, or I don't know, a T-Rex tank or whatever. But the point is that it doesn't really matter. It matters about what you do with the idea and that you have fun creating. And sometimes people get so precious about their ideas, they feel like, yeah, I own this. Like, well, fuck you, don't own anything. It's like just a mix of, excuse my language by the way, it's just a mix of stuff. Sorry, I also got the feedback from last time I shouldn't curse so much. I don't know why I curse so much in the previous streams. Maybe it's the silent music here which kind of like makes me angry. Come on. I feel like Kim Young-ji drew from reference, but reference was literally in his head. Yeah, he said like he can remember 60% of the stuff he's seen. If you don't mind me asking, what is your opinion on beginners starting out with online courses like the one by Draw a Box? So I don't know the online course of Draw a Box. I mean, at the end, an online like that's with every information in a package, it can work for you. But for example, if you're a person who needs someone who makes you accountable for the things that you do, and you have a lack of discipline, maybe an online course is not the thing that you need, right? Maybe it's really the one-on-one thing, and there are so many one-on-one people doing one-on-one teaching these days, right? So maybe that is for you. If you feel like, hey, I need someone to talk with me every month, once or twice, giving me feedback, but also kind of like telling me, hey, that's the right way, that's the wrong way, should do it like this, do it like that. Maybe you need this, you know, and then you also, of course, you invest more because you invest in your future. But if you're someone who can learn on your own, something like an online class can also be the perfect thing for you. When I started out, we only had like Gnomon classes, which were extremely expensive. And I remember I had a Nomen class with a guy, I don't even remember his name, it was like an older professor, it was a perspective class. And it was super dry, but I learned everything of perspective that I still know to this day from this class. Um, so that worked out for me well. And for me, it was a lot of money back then. I think it was like $100 or something for this whole class. But it was absolutely worth it for me in that moment. But I also bought a lot of stuff which I was super unhappy. I'm still talking about the CGMA class I took with a specific artist, which name I won't say, who also then also started to insult me and tell it as like he was looking at my homework, and I was already a working professional, and I took the class, and we had to do like environment thumbnails, and I'm always telling the story because it fascinated me. Like I make homework, I give him to him, and all he's saying like, I don't know where you have this idea from. I don't know where you stole it from, but it's pretty much not your idea. And I'm like, bro, I did it. Just give me positive feedback. What's up with you? What type of teacher are you? So there can be like all types of like things, you know. I mean, you could also still like have a one-on-one session with someone, and he can be a horrible person, horrible teacher, you know. So it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Maybe if you don't know, if you are someone who learns from online classes, maybe get a smaller one, you know, like get a class where a course which is not so expensive, and see how much you can gain out of it. Um, but of course, I want to say that does not guarantee that the next class will be the same type of structure. Okay, I hope this kind of like answers your question. I hope. Even other artists like creator of JoJo, there's a hour video of him using multiple art references. Of course, everyone. Mobius, my biggest inspiration ever. This guy used reference all the time. So why not? Why not? The brain is so good in mixing information. When you dream, when you sleep, it takes information, puts it together, and creates like something completely new. I heard a lot about CGMA class from many people. You're not alone. Okay. Yeah, I also heard it from other people. So it's good that I'm not alone. No man, yeah, but that was very surprising. I was like, bro, give me my money back. And I also think I paid like $800 or something for this class. And like $800 and then you get insulted. Like, alright. But you know, the good thing is that I took so many classes, I realized also when I started teaching that there's certain ways and things that I don't know, I don't want to be the way they are, like I don't want to be that type of teacher. So that's good for me. I don't say I'm the best or whatever, I would never say that, but I have a few principles. My girlfriend says that sometimes the results of my students are actually, they matter to me much more than the students themselves, because I know like sometimes like I'm super strict, I'm very hard on them, because I let them do the work again and again if it's not good enough, but their success mattered to me so much. Sometimes I'm sitting there like it's kind of like midnight and I'm still looking at their stuff and thinking like, what can they do better? Because I 100% understand how they're feeling and what positions they're in. Yeah, it's I don't know, like I remember when I went to school, like normal high school, I hated all my teachers. Because whenever I ask a serious question about why we do certain things, all they said like, because it's the teaching plan we got provided by the state of Berlin, because it's kind of like this how it works in Germany. And that was kind of like the biggest like FU answer you could give a teenager. Like FU, don't ask questions. Alright, cool. Thank you for teaching me valuable life sessions and lessons.
no doubt. Been winning but lost time together. We got the golden, baby, I'm so proud. Realizing all we've been dreaming. But listen, I don't wanna share you now. A little time is all that I'm needing. Only you and me, baby.
It's like having Gordon Ramsay review on your food, yeah.
Don't want nothing coming in between, baby.
You know that there is really good mentor I know of named. Appreciate it, Zix. Appreciate it. Also hated school. I was very rebellious student. I think a lot of people were actually, and I do understand it. But also, unfortunately, if when you're a kid or a teenager, you're just like just don't understand why you're behaving the way. I also feel like it's so interesting how differently chemically we are wired brain-wise as a teenager because of all hormones and stuff. And when you get it like an adult and you change, you realize what stupid things you've said and done, which like it's so embarrassing. But still, it's kind of like you can't do anything about it because you didn't know better, right? So, do you have any learning methods you favor the most? I copy reference twice, then try to draw them from memory without looking. Is this method good for long term for me? I don't know if it's good for you, to be honest, Kirsty. I mean, do you feel like you have a learning progression when doing this? How long do you do it for now? Do you look back and feel like, okay, I improved? What exactly did improved? Do you feel confident in drawing without the reference sometimes? I would really put it on an analytical way. Like, did your line work improve? Did your perspective improve? Did your overall drawing improve? Did your quality improve? Do you feel like you can use the reference to create something on your own? Because I think that's really more important to consider also your own ideas long term. If drawing is just generally hard for you at the moment, like just simple drawing, of course, then all you should practice is hand-eye coordination and drawing and all that stuff. But I think the way you learn, Kirsty, is also should change. You know, maybe it works for you now. Try to use it for now, and then see maybe you can change it over time. What I like the most. What I like the most is it really depends on what I'm doing. You know, like when I feel like I need to get better with a medium, I just do the medium for as long as I need to do. When I feel like I need to get better with lines, I do it harder on myself. So for example, what I also start is kind of like using a brush for drawing, you know, like just a normal brush, but trying to use ink to make those lines, you know. It's really hard because again, I'm super heavy-handed. When you try to learn perspective and you reach the way of, okay, I can draw normal perspective, try to draw super foreshortened stuff, you know, like I think the important part is that you always create a bit of resistance. It can't be too much. It's kind of like weight training, you know, the moment where, let's say 50 kilograms bench pressing gets easy for you, you increase the weight, and that's the way you should practice also. But don't forget to make practicing fun for you. And I feel like the longer I do it, the more important this becomes, is that you make sure that the practice part becomes fun. Because art, drawing, creating is longevity. And it never stops. So the more important it is that you find a way for you to learn where you don't even realize that you're learning, you know, that you just have fun with the stuff you do. I find that it's much more important because it provides much more longevity. And exercise-wise, for me, I just draw what I find interesting because I feel like right now it's the best thing for me. It crystallizes out, like, I don't know, I like at the moment I'm really into storytelling, so I just like sometimes I do my ink drawings for 30 minutes, then I try something out stylized, then I basically do like a very quick story like scribbling out, you know, where I kind of like do kind of like just story and try to move on with this and then try to translate this into bigger things. I always switch things up, but I constantly try to make things hard for me in order to get better. Hey Galina, thank you for the sub. Welcome to stream. How's it going? Growing up, I always thought skills are like set, you're born. Never in my life I did think like drawing, playing piano, something you can work on. Absolutely. Everything you can work on. I 100% believe that. I'm absolutely an example for it, because I couldn't draw. I couldn't, like, no. You just have to go into my online sketchbook from 2017 or something, on Crimson Daggers. Bro, you have a good laugh. I do feel like improvement terms learning where things go in terms of anatomy. That's good. That's why I intend to be a student someday. What can be considered improvement though? When I'm looking at drawings, sometimes I don't know what improvement looks like. Take a drawing from 6 months ago, like a longer period. 6 months ago, same topic. Or you try to draw something that you drew 6 months before again. And if you just get faster with it, or if the perspective is more better, or the overlaps are better, shape design is better, form communication is better, or overall communication is better, indication is better. There's so many fields, you know. That is definitely a thing. Or if you, I don't know, you can build your own little community with friends, and you all post your drawings every day in Discord, and like just inspire each other, but also kind of like just show up every day. 50 kilograms bench press will never be easy for my noodle arms. Don't worry, I'm also a bad bench presser. Feeling you. Yeah, that's true. Just get buff to study yourself. But be careful if you have an iPhone and you take like naked photos of yourself in the bathroom, because sometimes iPhone has a tendency to make photo of the day, and then you kind of like go into grocery stores and want to pay with you want to pay with how's it called, Apple Pay or something. And then you open up your phone and there's kind of like you posing in your bathroom. Might bring up a funny reaction to the cashier. Like, oh no, that's not me. That's not me. It's not me flexing in this bathroom. It's an image of a stranger. Yeah, speaking from experience. Absolutely. Every good story comes from a good experience, if you ask me. 100%. Have you ever had any problems with noodling while practicing studying? What do you mean with noodling? Can you specify a bit? What do you mean with that? Do you mean like just like losing the thought and just being like unfocused, or do you mean like basically start to losing like seriousness, and then you just like don't try to draw like as good as possible anymore? Is Dan Kruger still here? Is the question still active about the noodling? Let me switch up music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we're becoming more people. Hey everyone, welcome to stream. How's it going? Welcome to some serious live drawing action on a Friday night, or maybe Friday morning, wherever you are. I'm your host. Now I need a good name. Yeah, like sometimes I'm doing a study, my mind would drift off. I have keep reminding myself to more deliberate. That's been happened to anyone. Yeah, I mean, happened to me a lot. Especially when I'm not really in the mood of drawing. I feel like when I'm, I don't know, angry about something, or just have so much on my plate, then I kind of like lose my thought in there, you know? Or if I fantasize too much, I mean, not in the way you now think. I mean, fantasizing an idea, a concept, entertaining, you know, like you get the point. It might happen. No, at the moment, not really. I mean, yes, I have a reference for this dude here, but I'm kind of like just I can show you. You have to unlock my phone. Basically here, looking at just like stuff, nice shapes. Again, Pinterest is great. And then I just infuse stuff whenever I want to. And I think also I have a direct reference for this dude. Is this one here. Yeah. Basically. Because like I struggle a lot with this, with getting the shoes right in, you know. And then yeah, just I don't know. Sometimes I leave stuff away, like the glasses, or I add something, you know, just like switching things up. Try to do it in a way in my own kind of like look. Pinterest can be evil. I think if you put it that way, anything can be evil. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you just need to start with something, you know, just start with like a stroke. What I found very interesting, I think I mentioned it in the last stream, that now that they have this translation tool for even the old YouTube videos, I was watching some of the older interview videos with Mobius, and he was saying sometimes, for don't know who he is, like he was one of the most influential French comic book artists, but also kind of like a production designer or not fashion designer, concept designer. And he like had a lot of impact on a lot of people. And he said sometimes he would just let his hand do the work, so he just would trust his hand. So he would trust that, like whatever he's doing, that his hand would do the right move, because he trusted so much. And I think that like whenever you feel like endlessly scrolling, that could be a good way of just like get going with it, you know? Because it makes a lot of sense, because if you draw every day, at some point like the hand does the right thing. Fuck, I messed up the shoe again. I don't know what it is with me and shoes. It's just so tough sometimes. It's kind of like I don't know if it's the form or it's the shape in itself. Anyway, next one. Shoes feel always a pain. Nasty after teaching class drawing from it, I get so annoyed by feet. Yeah, same. It's interesting for me, this setup is so bright, but on my Streamlabs it's so medium. It's not even that bright as it is for me here. Um, what paper do you like to draw on? I like the paper I'm using at the moment. It is Hanemühle paper. It's a German brand. Sorry if I quiet down too much. It's this one. It's called Hanemühle. I don't know if they're really there from like 1584, probably. And these are the numbers. I like this type of like size. It's pretty good for me. I think I will go bigger at some point. But for what I do on a daily base, it's the best, because if I can like feel a page in 30 minutes or an hour, then I'm happy. And you, Merlin, what are you using? Canson paper? Okay, I never used it, I think. What type of like sketchbook you use? What size? Oh fuck. A5, that's the small orders, the things switch to A4. Yes. I also had the tendency to always draw too small, so that's why I kind of like I need to switch to A4. Yeah. Also for travel sketchbooks, I really like this size here. This is even smaller, but the cool thing is it fits into my pocket, you know. So it's kind of like you can put it in every jacket. I had it with me in Korea. I had it with me in Portugal. You can put it in your in your jeans back pocket, so to speak. It's perfect. It's actually a present from my mom. She's the best. Can't just sticker spotted, yes. What size it is? I don't know, to be honest. So good question. It's not written in here. Kim and G's arrived at 2007 sketch collection. 2007? Oh, that's the one I'm missing. I think I have all of them except the 2007. Where did you bought it? Hey Omerto, how's it going? Yeah, I just try to practice the same approach to in order to get better with it. I think it's just good to challenge myself. Also, my friend Theon um, told me that he likes to draw guitar players and music players to work on hands. Guess what? I just messing up the hands. But yeah, it's pretty good. Also help, I'm addicted to energy drinks and I need to stop. Mato, you're dropping too much stuff here on me. I don't know. Like how can you be addicted to energy drinks? Why not coffee? Coffee is much better. Like the sugar kills you, bro. Don't go for the sugar. The sugar is deadly. Coffee or matcha? Coffee. 100%. Coffee, 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 coffee. Matcha? If I want to taste grass, I can bite the grass in front of my house. No, I'm just kidding. If you like matcha, it's fine. We don't judge here. No, I tried also matcha. I actually like matcha cake. Matcha cake is really nice. By the way, if anyone wanna get some t-shirts or prints, we have 10% off at the moment. Before I always forget to say this, code ArtZone will be active for the next week. Then we're back to normal. Also got some new hoodies in, some new prints basically the Battle Within on hoodies. Turned out pretty cool. I wish I would have had them for the stream, but unfortunately, they delivered it again. Hey, how's it going? You're here again. How's it going? How are assignments going? Hey, Foreshadower, welcome to the stream and thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate you and your existence. All the drawings on the page from Imagination, do you do reference? We use reference today. For majority, I would say. So it's always, when you look at my stuff, the ugly stuff is always from Imagination. So everything. No. Like, most of it. And the stuff which doesn't look that ugly as the rest is probably from reference. I also need to say, like, using references here on stream is much more relaxing for me. So I think if you all would watch me drawing from imagination, that would stress me the hell out. So I'm not too sure if I could handle this. To be 100% honest. Oh. Okay, Omerto. See you later. See you later, bro. Have a good one. I can relate to when I draw pistols from it. It looks weird, yeah. Also don't know why everyone draws pistols. Maybe we humans have a tendency to violence. So maybe that's why we draw pistols. I don't know. Maybe we just love cowboys. Ooh, let's draw a cowboy. Let's draw a cowboy. Or maybe no, let's get another heart reference in. Dun, dun, dun. space here. This could work. Take this. Okay. Hey Fox, thanks for the sub. Welcome to stream. Appreciate the support. Stream is on.
Wann bist du fertig?
Be right back. Sorry. So. Can you draw using brainwaves? I'm sure you can because you're so damn good. uh, I wish. I wish. Appreciate the compliment. I wish. But I know. Do you know, like sometimes, or do you also have this that when you draw a lot and you close your eyes, you feel like you can like see like waves in front of your like black eye? I have this sometimes. What are you drawing? What is everyone drawing? You know what? Everyone who posts what they draw at the moment at stream, I will open up on stream here and we look at it. So you basically get a shout out, a social shout out. Post it in, I don't know, post it in a story or something. Tag me. And we look at it as a finisher for the stream, so to speak. In the next 10 minutes, it's your chance. And even if you drew it not on stream, but it looks really damn good, you can also do it. No one cares. So now comes the big shoe. Let's do the big shoe. And drawing random faces, nice. You mean like when bats scream in a cave? They know where the rock's placed? Yes, exactly that. Man, we're on the same page. I feel like you understand me. Um, well, I could post, but I really uncovered showing my art. No worries. How I show my drawing? Just make an Instagram story. Make an Instagram story, tag me so I see it, and then in a moment I will look in Instagram and maybe no one posted anything. Then it's also fine. But if you want, here's your chance to show. What do you draw on stream? I mean, if you drew it on stream, then perfect. You're going to be a part of this because we always keep the recording on here. Shoes. They are my nemesis. My final boss. Always mess them up. Okay. Monsters manga? I don't know this one. So let's go through some posts. If any one of you posted it. Shout out time. Hey Abigail, sorry. Welcome to the stream and thanks for the sub. Okay, so far we have one. That looks pretty. You played Monster Hunter the whole stream? I believe you that. That's okay, bro. That looks pretty dope. Can we zoom in more? No. Right. This looks pretty cool. Wow, so many poses. Really nice line work. Yay, let me share it in my story. Can I move this? Why can I not scale this? Ah, now. Good job. Alrighty, so since there's no one... Oh, there's one. One just made a reel. Okay, let's look at one's reel. Wow. Nice. Love the shading one. Okay, let's give him some support. Sick shading. Bro. Alright. Okay. Okay, let's zoom out. So yeah, we didn't do that much, I feel like, today. I mean, that's okay. For not feeling it, at least we drew 2.5 hours. So next time we start better on time. Unfortunately, we lost like 30 minutes today because of like the stream hiccup and whatever. But I still thank you all for coming in. Next stream will be on Friday, of course. And I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you, I Can Sort. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, drawing, and yeah. I wish you all a wonderful day. If you haven't pressed the like button below, please do that. Other than that, I wish you a wonderful weekend. Happy Women's Day tomorrow, and yeah, see you soon in the next stream. Take care, everyone, and make sure to check out the shop. We have still 10% off on prints and shirts for the next week. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Thanks, Dimitri, for the sub. Appreciate you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Till next week. Thank you, Merlin. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone.